Hi everyone, welcome back to Rooted in Style. For those of you new here, I'm Melanie. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to identify and treat root mealies. And I apologize ahead of time. I was exhausted when I recorded this video. I had a really horrendous layover and I ended up getting home at 3 in the morning to find that some of my Hoya and Dischidia had root mealies. Now, I have tackled root mealies in the past with success on other Hoyas with some help from Doug Chamberlain at Vermont Hoyas, and I'd love to share with you how I achieved that in the past. So, without further ado, let's get started. That is not good at all. Okay, something has root mealies in here. It could be this one. It's one of these or both. My guess is actually both. It's right where both of these were. See that white stuff? That's where plants were. Here, I'll show you. So those openings correlate with this. So you can see them there. There's one moving around. Do you see that? You know what I'm gonna do? Because I need to quarantine them somewhere. I'm gonna pour this isopropyl alcohol into the bottom of this. We will kill them all. Probably should have put a mask on since it smells like rubbing alcohol everywhere. Oh well. I'm just gonna wipe it clean. Try to get all those eggs up. It's time to treat the plants that have the root mealies, which I guess is mealies all the same. Both really suck. So anyways, this way that I've learned has worked for some of my plants. The main thing is that you pretty much need to repot them. So if they're cuttings, it can be a bit stressful. But I learned this from Doug Chamberlain with Vermont Hoyas. He uses Pure Crop 1. It is an organic pesticide. It is quite expensive. Now, he notices that it works well for him and also that his plants seem to grow pretty well after he uses it. And I will say the plants that I used it on, the ones not in soil that I was too lazy to replant. So the ones that I did what you're supposed to do where I replanted them or repotted them or whatever, and then I used the Pure Crop 1 to water them with, those ones actually did well. A few of those are truly growing really, really fast right now, like the Matilde, the variegated Matilde that you guys saw. So I do think that it probably has something in it that makes your plants grow a little bit better. And it does seem to work well for root mealies if you do what you're supposed to do. You can't take shortcuts and not replant them. So I technically threw out my plants with the root mealies that were in the soil because frankly, I've had them since November 2024. It's now almost July 2025. And, you know, they finally started growing and I think it was just too long for them to the point where I just didn't care about it. And as bad as it sounds, I can just buy another plant if I want to, but I think I have too many plants now. And so I don't think I'm going to be buying any more anyway. So, you know, again, you fall out of love with things if they don't do well for so long, or you've just had them for so long, they're not growing, but you want them to grow. So, you know, there are certain plants, you want to keep them the size they are, you like it, you limit their growth, but there's other plants that you want to just thrive and grow and go crazy. And this was one of those plants that I had and it wasn't doing anything. So I stopped caring about it. And frankly, that's fine. It's life, it happens. So there's just a few plants that I want to prophylactically treat since they were in the same area as the plants that had the root mealies. but I'm a little bit lazy. I don't feel like replanting them, partly because I don't think that they got infested. And if I have signs that they have become infested, then I'll replant them. So these are the plants that I will be prophylactically treating. Someone said that cocoa coir is more likely to get these root mealies. I don't know. It's just what I've heard. So what I do, I'm going to just be filling this with the pesticide mix. And I'll just leave the plant in it for a few minutes, like this. Ta-da! So I'm basically just soaking it completely in the mix. I'll leave it in there for like, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, and that will be how I treat it. Now, in terms of the pesticide mixture, I just followed the bottle on how it said to dilute it. It was very easy. You guys don't need to see me doing this for every Hoya and Dischidia. So I think you get the picture of how I do that. If you want to see it more in detail, go to Doug Chamberlain's channel here on YouTube, or he may have some information about it posted to his Vermont Hoya's website. So that's how I treat my root mealies. And again, this has worked very successfully for me in the past. Just to recap, a sign that you may have root mealies is if your plants are not growing, they're very stagnant all of a sudden, or if you have your plants in a greenhouse. I showed you how you can actually see the root mealies on the bottom. And then, you know, if you don't have them in a greenhouse, but you notice it's stagnant, you can actually take them out of the soil, inspect the roots, get a microscope, and look for those root mealies. And in full disclosure, my plants that were infected, I actually don't have those ones anymore. They were stagnant for too long and I fell out of love with them. So the ones that I showed you how I treat are actually the other ones that were next to those, and that was how I prophylactically treated them. But the treatment is the same. It's just that normally if they were fully infested, I would have changed the soil. Anyway, I hope that this video helped. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy planting and stay rooted in style.